Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops and GMFs, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word and truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. To the Akwat that are listening and wanted to be in a pillar of rest, the 144,000, one-third, the hopeful elect of Israel. The brother slash elder. Shalom and salutations to you all. This is a real quick lesson. Dabu 7-7, 21 hours ago, I guess. It was new to me. Anyway, this word biblical plague and crickets, right? Invades U.S., creating unalived ambushes, conditions. That's crazy. When you hear about so many crickets that cars are sliding on top, they can't hit the road because there's so many. They're just crushing them, and cars are sliding off the road. Crazy. Anyway, we're going to listen to this. But first, what we do here is, anybody could watch Dabu 7, but you have to filter everything through the scriptures, especially when it says biblical plague of crickets. This absolutely demands that you filter it through the scriptures. So here we go. I typed plagues of Egypt into Bible Hub, and this is what came up. So let's investigate this. Topical Encyclopedia. The plagues of Egypt, also known as the 10 plagues, are a series of divine judgments described in the book of Exodus, chapter 7 through 12, that the Most High inflicted upon Egypt to persuade Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery. Look at that. These plagues demonstrates the Most High's power to serve as a pivotal moment in the history of Israel, showcasing his sovereignty over creation and his commitment to his covenant people. This is what the whole Bible is about, his commitment to his covenant people that doesn't change with the New Testament. Okay, so we'll just, skim through these. Let's see. Miraculous use of the phenomenon. Let's see. I gotta look at this. This is very interesting. Look at this. This deserves a read. Literature. The Hebrew words are so used as to give the name plagues to all the wonders. Look at that. All the miracles. It says Hebrew words are so used as to give the name plagues to all the miracles the Most High did against Pharaoh. Plagues. So plagues are miracles. Thus it appears that the language in the account in Exodus puts forward the wondrous, that's plagues, not plagues, but miracles. Exodus puts forward the miraculous character of these dealings of the Most High with Pharaoh. The account of the plagues, of the miracles, the account of the miracles is found in Exodus 7, Psalm 78, Psalm 105. These poetical accounts of the miracles have a devotional purpose and do not give a full historical narrative. See, we're only getting the tip of the iceberg about how miraculous the Most High was showing himself to be during that time, which is why these stories can stand how long is that? We know Cecil B. DeMille, but these stories, right? The Most High is keeping them low. Look at that. See, burning bush, the account which led to the plagues. See, this word plagues, this is huge. The Hebrew words are so used as to give the name plagues to all the miracle wonders the Most High did against Pharaoh. turning water. Okay, so let's go back up here. Locust, Slovakia. I'm getting carried out. I'll try to make this short. Swarms of locusts consumed what was left of the crops and vegetation after the hail. So when we watch Dabu, he mentions how they're just wiping shit out overnight. Swarms of, see, this goes into the famine as well. Swarms of locusts consumed their food, what was left of the crops and vegetation after the hail. So the hail, whatever the hail didn't destroy, the locust ate. So these things are complementing, these miracles of, of plague are complementing each other. They will cover the face of the land so that no one will be able to see the ground. Ooh, look at that. This plague brought Egypt to the brink of famine. Look at that. Let's read this whole thing again. Salakia. Let me slow down. This is crazy. Because especially this part, Dabu brings this out. They will cover the face of the land so that no one will be able to see the ground. There were so many locusts that cars are sliding off the road because they're piled up. And when you smash them, it turns to goop. And he goes into that. Oh, that's darkness. So let me read this one more time. Locust, Exodus, or locusts, or grasshoppers, whatever you want to call them. Locusts, Exodus 10, 1 through 20. Swarms of locusts consumed what was left of the crops and vegetation after the hail. This brought Egypt to the brink of famine. See, Egypt right here, you gotta, if you're in the spirit, you understand that this is talking about Babylon the Great, America. This brought America to the brink of famine. They will cover the face of the land so that no one will be able to see the ground. Crazy. Real quick before we watch Dabu, I looked this up. How big was ancient Egypt compared to the U.S.? And we'll look at that after, okay, when you consider. Because he basically says that these crickets, you know, are prevalent on the West Coast. And they go into Utah, which is Judah. I mean, Salakia, I didn't mean to say that. It's a little joke, but let's just watch this. Dabu, this is 21 hours ago. Chaos. So now that we have some perspective, okay, he's saying crickets, locusts, you know, what are they? It's a biblical swarm, plague, miracle. Take it. What we got, Dabu? I'm going to look up that plague, too.
It looks like the cannibal cricket.
So look, let me start at the top.
This is Dabu 7. It looks like the cannibal crickets are back and they're causing chaos in several different states. This plague is consuming crops, it's destroying gardens, it's even responsible.
This plague, miracle.
It looks like the cannibal crickets are back and they're...
Damn. Hold on, I'm going to start this at the top and hopefully it'll play. Salakia, bear with me.
This is Dabu 7. It looks like the cannibal crickets are back and they're causing chaos in several different states. And this plague is consuming crops, it's destroying gardens, it's even responsible for eating away at people's homes and siding. Folks messaging in, sending in reports saying that this is getting out of control and getting super dangerous. Utah specifically is being hit and is at the heart of all this. They're saying that because of a mild winter and the fact that more eggs survived and hatched, that these things are exploding all over the place. They're covering the roads, fences, walls, the sides of homes, and they're making the roadways dangerously slick. This is causing accidents, what they're calling death trap conditions, because people that are passing through the area that are not familiar with this are basically sliding on a bunch of dead bugs. that sends them sliding till they're off the road. It's that bad. That's how many there are. They have rolled out snow plows in these areas to scrape these up off the ground and to clear the roads, hoping that it will reduce the accidents that's going on out there. So this is that bad. Now these are flightless crickets. They're shiny, reddish insects that can grow up to about 2 inches long, and they're really native to the western part of the United States: Montana, Oregon, Utah, Idaho, Nevada, all the places that I'm hearing reports of this. So in my area, we've seen cicadas this year, very loud, and a ton of them all over the place, all throughout Appalachia. And it seems like out west, this is what they're dealing with: cannibal crickets here that are just eating everything. Crop
What?
are being stripped
Fuck.
overnight,
Slovakia.
place all throughout Appalachia. And it seems like this is what they're dealing with: cannibal crickets here that are just eating everything. Crop losses, backyard gardens already hit. They're saying that they're being stripped overnight, and that in small towns, the air reeks of rotting insects. That's how bad and out of control this is. And they're warning that the worst may be yet to come, that eggs hatched in the spring could lead to a second wave into the summer. So if you guys are experiencing this, seeing crop losses, damage, anything like this, anything similar, let me know in the comments below. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on W77.
Where's the food grown at in America? I guess in the Midwest. But a lot is grown out here in California. I know that. Out west. So, famine conditions. What is the Most High doing? This is a miracle. All right, so he mentioned Utah. He mentioned some states, right? Well, a lot of locust, crickets, whatever you want to call them. This is a biblical plague. Here's a question: is this the Most High? Is this the Most High bringing the plagues of Egypt on Egypt right now? Is that what we're looking at? You damn right it is. Okay? Now, you have to take into consideration the amount. Okay? What is known? Let's go. Oh, I don't want to lose that. Let's go right here. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 19. Okay? Now, if the Spirit is dealing with you, you understand that we're talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, the burden of Egypt, the burden concerning Egypt. We're talking about America. Jump down to 2, Isaiah 19 and 2, and I will set the Americans against the Americans. This is what we're dealing with when you see this Egypt. Let's prove it real quick. Revelation. Is it Revelation? 11 and 8, right? Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. What great city? Babylon, the great city. The great city Babylon. Okay? And their dead bodies shall lie in the city, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. So America is spiritually known in the Bible as Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So now when we go back, let's see one, Slovakia, bear with me. Now we go back to 19, and I will set the Babylonians, Babylon the Great, or Americans, against the Americans, all right? So, the Most High is coming to do what? Let's read 1, Isaiah 19 and 1. The burden of the Lord, Salakia, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into America. Right? This is coming. He's bringing all the plagues to the plagues of Egypt as before. Let's see. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst. Egypt, help us do this. Egypt as before. Where's that at? So lucky. I gotta look it up in the phone. Bear with me for a moment. Because I got some information on my phone as well to what we're going into, the size of the U.S. compared to, let's see, Egypt as before. Yep, it's in the Apocrypha. That's why it doesn't come up there. Second Ezra 15. So like, bear with me. I have to get this real quick. And 11. Start at 10. Second Ezra 15 and 10, right? 15 and 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of America, Egypt. America. How do we know this is talking about America? Because of these words right here, this phrase, as before. See, ancient Egypt is as before. So this is talking about something different. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Okay, so what are we talking about here? We're talking about Egypt, but the question is this ancient Egypt or is this spiritual Egypt? Let's find out. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite whatever Egypt this is, either it's ancient Egypt or it's spiritual Egypt. And we know what spiritual Egypt is, with plagues. Here come them plagues. The plagues as before. Before is talking about ancient. What could this be talking about? I will. I already did this. This is a future prophecy. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite Egypt, or my target, which during this time was Mizraim, right? But this Egypt is talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, with plagues as before, like I did back then, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn. See? Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the miracles and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. See how this unveils itself? And all call halal Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Bashir Kadash, and then those beloved apostles, right? That these beloved apostles that taught us this wonderful gift, this truth. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. Let's take a look real quick at the size. Okay, how big was ancient Egypt? Now let me read this because my phone does AI. It doesn't do it on this desktop. So this is what AI said when I typed in how big was ancient Egypt compared to the U.S. I typed this into my phone. This is what AI said. Egypt was significantly smaller, which is kind of like what this is saying. It says Egypt was significantly smaller than the U.S. Egypt's total area is approximately the size of Texas and New Mexico combined. The U.S., on the other hand, has a total of blah, blah, blah. In other words, U.S. is more than 10 times larger than Egypt. U.S. is about 10 times larger than Egypt. Okay? I don't know where the picture is. All right. So imagine, okay, here's ancient Egypt. Okay. Did I say ancient? This is not talking. But, all right, so it's talking about ancient Egypt, the AI overview that I just read. I'm not sure that this is the same thing. But anyway, the point I'm making is, say, for example, the Most High covered Egypt, right, with locusts, and it's that big. Well, this Egypt, spiritual Egypt, is 10 times bigger. How many locusts are coming here? Here's Egypt right here. Here's the states right here. It's pretty easy to see what the hell is going on. You understand? How many more locusts are coming in this miracle? Well, it's going to be a miracle. So, according to this guy, it's already started. All right. So, let's see. Plagues. Let's get that real quick. Shit, what? Let's look in. We got that information here. Swarms of locusts. Let's go here. And what are we looking for? Plagues, right? The Lord said, harden the hearts. Where's plague first come? Humble. Salaki, bear with me real quick. Pharaoh's presence. Did it say? Go back real quick. Exodus, wait, 10:1. Where's plagues at? I dealt with the Egyptians when I performed miraculous signs among them. Let's read that from the top. The eighth plague, locusts, okay. Exodus 10:1. Then the Lord said to Moses, go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, mind control his ass, and the hearts of his officials, that I may perform these miraculous signs of mine among them. Okay, and that you may tell your children and the grandchildren how severely I dealt with the Egyptians when I performed the miraculous signs. They're not telling us about what actually happened. I'm sure they knew. So that all of you may know that I am. That is tight, boy. Let's see. I'm looking for plagues. Because this are those plagues. They're just not, I want to look that word up. Probably have to do it on my own time. It kind of belongs in this lesson, so bear with me. You have Pharaoh. Keep saying plagues. Let's go back to the first plague. Exodus 10. Fifth plague. Second plague. Aaron's staff. First plague. So he doesn't use the word plague. Let's see. Aaron's staff. Serpent. It's a damn word plague. How come I don't see it? Suddenly. Should the word plague be all over here? So they're not using the word plague because I would see it. Sure, I'm missing it. let's see, plague nowhere in Exodus. Let's see. Does the word plague appear in Exodus? Let's see. Exodus 7 and 12. So, Lockie, bear with me. I'm on a hunt. Each one threw down his staff and became a serpent. Where? Exodus 7 through 12. Let's see. Exodus 7 through 12. The word plague is, I don't see it. So, Lockie, bear with me. Not Exodus. I want plague. So, Lockie. Bear with me. I'm going to have to look into that because I just don't see the word plague in here. I don't see it there. I will plague your whole. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so, but see, that's in, let's see. I will send a plague, King. See, look. In the King James Bible, it ain't saying plague. You understand what I'm saying? And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy border. Well, he ain't said nothing about no plague. So I'm going to go in. This word plague. See, we have to find smite. We know what that means. Okay. Behold. What does behold mean? Look. Look at this miracle, nigga. That's what behold. Behold. Right? Plague. See? You see where I'm going with this? Anyway, I want to look at what this word plague means, but I can't do it unless I go in through the King James, right? Because where do I get plague? Right here. You can get plague out of that. Okay, so further study. Because it alluded to miracle. It is a miracle. It might be a bad miracle, an omen or a curse, but it's certainly miraculous. So anyway, I'm going to end right here. And I went way too long, Slovakia. But, I'm curious. So this is Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in the great matter of small. So with that, we hope that the elect are edified. I'm going to follow up on that and go write it down right now in my journal, which I don't have. It's a lot. But with that, we hope the elect will edify you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.